All right, so recently I was able to go out to Detroit to get my hands on the new Chevrolet Equinox EV. So this is an EV starting at $30,000 and will be released in the fall of 2023. And so I wasn't able to get any driving time with this car, but I should have some B-roll here so you can see someone else driving it. But I was able to get inside the car and walk around it to see what it's all about. And yeah, this is a nice looking car too. So the one I was able to see in Detroit does have a blue main body, and then also the top of it is going to be two-tone with a little bit of a white finish there. But I'm going to be showing you some of the other color options that you do have for this Equinox EV. But also I love the styling around the car when it comes to the lines, and also especially like the headlights and the taillights. Everything looks kind of futuristic, right? It looks really cool. And with the headlights and the taillights, you do have different, what should I call it, like animations and things that happen when you do different things. So especially when you do plug in the car, it will actually kind of animate like you see with your smartphone when you do plug it in. It might have a little charging indicator on it. So you have that here. And also you do have walk-up lighting as well. So as you approach the car, it can give you some lights there. And you'll also have the option to add 360 surround HD camera support for this car. So you'll be able to get a 360 view at everything that's going on while you're inside the car. And this Equinox EV will come with 19-inch wheels standard, but you do have the option to go up to 20 or 21 inches. And you will also have the option to add a presence space liftgate. So when you do have the fob in your pocket or in your hand and you approach the back of the car, it'll automatically open up by itself. And if you will be driving this car somewhere that does get cold like it does out here in St. Louis, I need the summer to stay forever. But you have the option to add a heated steering wheel and also heated seating, and also even something that's really cool in the fact that you can add heated windshield wipers. So if you do have like snow or ice on your windshield, the area underneath the windshield wipers on the glass will actually heat itself up, and then now when you go to get in your car and you start those windshield wipers, they're not going to be frozen in place. And Chevy is also throwing in a bunch of different standard safety features, which I appreciate a lot. So some of these features include automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian braking, lane keep assist, reverse automatic braking, rear parking assistance, blind spot warning, rear cross traffic braking, safety alert seat, and more. So a lot more of these safety features will be on the website, but they pretty much have you covered, especially if you might be a little bit of a clumsy driver, which sometimes I can be too. Now, the standard trim for this car does include front wheel drive and also a single motor, and this can get you 210 horsepower and also 242 pound-feet of torque. But you also have the option to go to a dual motor setup with all-wheel drive, and this will give you 290 horsepower and 346 pound-feet of torque. And the standard range for this car will be 250 miles. But some of the other trims will be offering up to 300 miles with front wheel drive, and as far as the all-wheel drive versions, you will be getting around 280 miles. And when it comes to charging, I think on the low end, you're looking at 11.5 kilowatts of charging that will give you up to 32 miles per hour of charge. And one of the faster charging options will be coming in at 50 kilowatts, and that will give you up to 70 miles of range per hour of charge. And this car also will be coming with GM's Ultium Charge 360, which means that this car will be compatible with over 100,000 different charging stations across the US and Canada. And when it comes to finding these charging stations, you can use the My Chevy app to be able to do some route planning, and also it'll tell you where all these different charging stations are, so you can make sure you have plenty on your route. But now let's talk about when I was able to get inside of the car, and this is where the fun really starts for me, at least, because I am a techie, I'm a geek. I love all the type of electronics inside of this car. So in front of the driver, you do have a 11-inch digital instrument cluster screen, and that will give you all your information that you expect to see while you're driving, your speed, odometer, all that stuff, playback controls for your media. But then also in the middle of the dash, you will see a big 11-inch infotainment screen, and this is upgradable to 7.7 inches if you want to go big. And this is where you'll be able to manage most of the things with the car. So one of the things I noticed right away is they're just mix of using, virtual control and also physical controls, like around the volume knob here. You can see some animations happen on the screen around it, but also again, it is a physical knob there. And around the steering wheel and also below this infotainment screen, you do have physical controls, which I personally like. I don't like the all digital or touch super clean type of experience inside of a car. I like being able to have that physical touch as well. And this car will be coming with Apple CarPlay and also Android Auto. And basically I had like a little flashback to when I was inside of the Hummer EV and that infotainment setup here. I see a lot of, kind of similar animations and just a feel and a vibe to the car when you start it up and stuff like that in this. And so I'm liking it. And something else inside of this car that does also also remind me of the Hummer EV is the fact that it does have one pedal driving standard. So this means that you can just use one single pedal, the accelerator, to be able to accelerate, and also as you let up off of it, it will slow down to a stop. And so earlier this year, I was using one pedal driving in the Hummer EV, and it took me like 10 minutes to get used to it. But once I did, I didn't want to go back to two pedal driving, and it's way less kind of stress on your foot going back and forth to the brake, to the accelerator. So it's definitely something that once you use it and try it, I think most people will like it. And throughout this car, you do have multiple charging ports up front, and also you have two USB-C ports for passengers in the back of the car. And I did get in the back of the car, and I felt comfortable, right? I didn't spend a lot of time back there. And with me being 6 feet tall, though, I did feel like I was comfortable back there. And this does support seating for up to 5 people. And when you do lay the seats down in the back, the maximum amount of storage you have in this car will be 57 cubic feet. And so yeah, that's all of the juicy main features of this car. Now, as I mentioned before, this car will be coming in multiple trims, so I recommend going to their website. And so my first impressions of this Chevrolet Equinox EV is that it does feel techy, right? I think for $30,000, that's a decent amount of money, but it's not going to break the bank, especially compared to more expensive EVs out there. And I think what you're getting is a really cool technical package that has a bunch of different ambient lighting on the inside. And when you get inside of this car, you're going to feel like you're driving from something that's in the future, but it is right now, or at least coming out in the fall 2023. So it's almost available for you to get. But if you want to see more information about this car, check out the link down below in the description of this video. And let me know what you think about this Equinox EV in the comments below. But like always, I do want to thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.